Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. A good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. Now let me tell you something, y'all. That line right there, that ain't just some words you put on a poster and hang on the wall. That right there is a whole way of living around it. When you hear it, it's almost like a drum beat. Good, better, best. It's got rhythm to it. It's got energy to it. And the truth is, every single one of us in this room is somewhere in that line. Some of us, we're at good. Some of us, we've moved up to better. Some of us, maybe we're close to our best. But the beauty of this whole thing is that it never stops. It never rests. As long as you're alive, as long as you got breath in your body, you got room to move up. See, here's what I've learned. Good is comfortable. Good feels nice. Good pays the bills. And it good keeps you in your lane. But good can also fool you. Good will whisper to you, man, you've done enough. You're okay. Stay right here. And some people get stuck there. They live their whole lives at a good. But let me tell you something, good ain't what you were built for. God didn't put you on this earth just to be good. He put you here with the potential to be better, and then the potential to be the best version of yourself. Now, when you hear me say a better, I'm not talking about comparing yourself to your neighbor, your coworker, or some celebrity you see online. No, better means compared to you. Yesterday's you, last year's you, last season's you. Better means you took the time to grow, to improve, to learn something new, to step up in a way you didn't step up before. Better is about progress, not perfection. Every step you take toward better makes you stronger, makes you wiser, makes you more prepared for what's coming next. And then there's a best. Oh man, when you get to best, it's like standing on the top of a mountain looking out at everything you climbed through to get there. Here's the catch. Your best today doesn't mean that's the best you're ever going to be. Because once you hit that level, life will show you there's another mountain, another challenge, another level that requires a new best. That's why the line says, never let it rest. Because the moment you stop pushing, the moment you sit back and say, I made it, that's the moment you start sliding back down. I'll tell you a little story. When I was starting out in comedy, my first shows weren't the best. They weren't even the better. They were just good enough for me to stay on stage. I had some laughs, but I had a whole lot of silence, too. Now, good could have been enough. I could have said, well, I'm funny enough to make some people laugh. That's good. But I knew deep down I had to work harder. I had to make good jokes better, and then better jokes the best I could write. I couldn't let it rest. I was broke. I was struggling, but I kept telling myself this same line, good, better, best. And you know what? Over time, I saw the change. My delivery got sharper. My timing got tighter. My audience got bigger. Every step I moved from good to better to best. And here's the crazy thing. I'm still climbing. Because even now, I believe the best version of me hasn't been seen yet. That's how you gotta look at your own life. Don't settle. Don't stop. Don't rest just because you reached a good. Good is the floor, not the ceiling. Good is the starting point, not the finish line. And if you've reached better, congratulations, but keep on moving. Don't get comfortable in a better, because a bestel is still out there waiting for you. Let me make it plain for you. If you cook, make today's meal better than yesterday's. If you're in school, let today's study session be better than last week's. If you're working a job, put in effort that makes your boss or your client say, oh man, that's the best I've seen yet. And if you're chasing a dream, don't stop when you hit the first level of success. Push yourself until your good has become better, and your better has transformed into best. See, this ain't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about pushing yourself to a higher standard every single day. You wake up and you ask yourself, am I still just good, or did I make it better? Am I closer to my best, or did I take a step back? And if the answer ain't what you want it to be, don't cry about it, don't complain about it. Get back up and go again. Because as long as you got another day, you got another shot to move from good to better to best. That's the power of this quote, man. It's not just about words, it's about a mindset. It's about deciding you will not rest until you give this life the best version of you possible. And let me tell you, once you get into that rhythm, once you live in that flow, life opens up for you in ways you couldn't even imagine. Opportunities show up. Doors open. People notice. And you look back one day and say, oh man, I'm so glad I didn't settle for just good. So when I say this line again, I don't want you to just hear it. I want you to feel it. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. That's the standard. That's the challenge. And that right there is the life you're meant to live. When we hear that line, good, better, best, never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. It sounds simple, right? Almost like something a teacher would write on the chalkboard for kids to memorize. But let me break it down for you, because it's deeper than it looks. It's not just a catchy rhyme, it's a formula. It's a roadmap for how you should approach everything in your life if you ever want to reach the level you were meant to reach. Now, let's start with a good. Good means you're doing something at a decent level. You're not failing, you're not doing terrible, you're not on the bottom. Even the bottom. But here's the thing. Good is average. Good is ordinary. Good is safe. Good is where most people stop because it feels okay. It makes you think you don't need to move anymore. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your whole life at a good, never realizing that a good is just the entry level. Then you move to better. Better is growth. Better is when you decide, I can't just sit here with what I have. I need to push. Better means improvement, progress, advancement. Better is when you look at your life and you say, okay, I'm not just surviving, I'm leveling up. Maybe yesterday you only gave 50% effort, but today you gave 70. Maybe last year you saved a little money, but this year you're building a plan for real wealth. Maybe before you were eating unhealthy, but now you're making better choices. Better is about making adjustments that elevate you beyond average. And then there's a best. Best is the peak. Best is the maximum version of what you can be. Best is not just better than others. It's better than yourself at every stage before this. Best is when you know you've poured out everything inside you and gave the world the top level of your gifts, your talents, your energy. Best is excellence. Best is greatness. Best is when your name carries weight because you didn't settle, you didn't quit, you didn't stop. But here's what I need you to understand. This line says, I never let it rest. That's the part most people skip over. You don't get to climb from good to better and then just sit down and relax. You don't get to say, I hit my best one time, that's enough. No, life doesn't work like that. The moment you stop moving, the moment you get comfortable, you start sliding back. That's why you gotta wake up every single day with the mindset of growth. Every day you ask yourself, how do I make this good better and this better best? And now let me give you an example. Imagine a student in school. They start off getting good grades, maybe C's and B's. That's a good. But then they decide, you know what, I can do better. They study harder, they focus, they get some A's. That's a better. Then one day they graduate at the top of their class, valedictorian. That's a best. But here's the key. After graduation, they can't just stop. They've got to take that same energy into college, into a career, into life. Because if they rest, if they get satisfied, they fall back down. See what I mean? It's a cycle of constant growth. Let me put it another way. Think about athletes. You ever notice how the great ones never settle? Michael Jordan didn't just want to be good. He didn't just want to be better. He wanted to be the best every single season. And even when he was already considered the best, he still practiced like he was chasing something. Because he knew that the moment he rested, the moment he got comfortable, somebody else would pass him. That's how life works. The best don't stay the best by chance. They stay the best because they refuse to let it rest. And I'm telling you right now, this applies to your own life. Maybe you're good at your job, but are you pushing to be better? Maybe you're better in your finances than you used to be. But are you reaching for the best version of financial freedom? Maybe you're good in your relationships, but are you working every day to be a better partner, a better parent, a better friend? Here's the truth. Your best is required. Not for somebody else, not for applause, not for likes on social media, but for you. Because when you leave this world, you don't want to look back and say, I was good. You don't even want to stop at I was better. You want to say, I was my best. That's the kind of legacy that lives on. That's the kind of life that matters. So when we break this line down, it's really telling you how to live. Start at good. It's okay. Move to better. Don't stop. Strive for best. And when you hit best, push again, because there's always another level of best you haven't touched yet. Never let it rest means never settle. Never quit. Never put your purpose on pause. Keep climbing. Keep stretching. Keep becoming. And if you carry that mindset with you, let me promise you something. You will not just live an ordinary life. You will live an extraordinary one. You will move beyond just existing and step into thriving, because every single day you'll be chasing the best version of you. And trust me, when you do that, your life becomes bigger than you ever imagined. So once again, let me remind you, good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better. And you would again, better is best. That's not a slogan. That's not a rhyme. That's the secret to progress, to success, and to living a life you can be proud of. Let me tell you something, y'all. Life is about growth. That's the whole point of this line. Good, better, best. Never let it rest. You can't get from good to better and from better to best without growth. And growth, let me keep it real with you. Growth ain't easy. Growth is uncomfortable. Growth requires you to leave behind what feels safe and step into something that stretches you. But here's the truth. If you're not growing, you're dying. There is no such thing as standing still in life. You're either moving forward or you're sliding backward. Think about it like this. You plant a seed in the ground. That seed can stay a seed forever if it never grows. But if it gets sunlight, water, care, it pushes through the soil. First, it's a little sprout, small, fragile. Then it grows taller, stronger, until one day it becomes a tree. Now that tree gives shade, it gives fruit, it gives life to birds and animals. But it all started with growth. Without growth, it would have just been a seed, full of potential but wasted. And that's exactly how life works. You got all this potential inside you, but it won't mean a thing unless you're willing to grow. Now, let me break it down even further. Growth requires change. And oh Lord, people don't like change. We love routine. We love comfort. We love staying where it feels safe. But growth doesn't live in the comfort zone. Growth lives on the edge. Growth lives in the risk you take, in the new skill you learn, in the challenge you accept. You gotta step out of what's familiar if you want to step into what's possible. I'll give you an example from my own life. Y'all know me now as Steve Harvey, the TV host, the comedian, the author. But man, let me tell you, it wasn't always like that. Back when I started in comedy, I was broke. Slept in my car for years, took showers at gas stations, ate bologna sandwiches 3 times a day. I was at a good. I had the gift of making people laugh. But a good wasn't paying no bills. I had to grow. I had to sharpen my craft, learn how to hold a stage, learn how to deal with silence when the jokes didn't hit. I had to grow in patience, in resilience, in faith. And because I kept growing, I moved from small clubs to bigger clubs, from clubs to TV, from TV to worldwide stages. None of that would have happened if I stayed where I was comfortable. Growth took me places good could never take me. That's what I'm telling you right now. Growth is the bridge between who you are and who you're supposed to become. Without it, you'll never reach your better. Without it, you'll never touch your best. But let me be real with you. Growth hurts. Growth requires sacrifice. Growth means you lose some people along the way. Some of your friends won't like the new you because the new you makes them uncomfortable. Some of your family won't understand why you're pushing so hard. Some folks will try to pull you back to a good because they don't want to see you outgrow them. But you can't let that stop you. You gotta keep moving, keep stretching, keep becoming. Here's another way to look at it. Growth is proof that you're alive. Look at nature. Everything alive grows. Babies grow into children, children into adults. Flowers bloom, rivers expand, seasons change. Growth is natural, but it takes work. The only things that don't grow are dead things. So if your life hasn't grown in years, if your finances haven't grown, if your mindset hasn't grown, if your dreams haven't grown, then you need to check yourself because life is telling you it's time to move. And let me say this too, growth ain't always loud. Sometimes growth happens in the quiet, in the small daily steps nobody else sees. Maybe it's waking up earlier. Maybe it's reading one more chapter. Maybe it's saving $10 instead of spending it. Maybe it's learning to control your temper or learning how to listen instead of always talking. Growth is in the details, and those details compound. One day you wake up and realize you're not who you used to be. You've grown. So why is growth important? Because growth takes you closer to your best. Growth keeps you from being stuck in average. Growth opens doors you didn't even know existed. And growth, this is the part I love. Growth inspires others. When people see you growing, when they see you breaking limits, they get inspired to do the same. Your growth gives somebody else permission to grow too. Let me tell you what happens when you don't grow. You regret. That's the truth. Nothing eats a person alive like regret. Regret is sitting on your porch at 70 years old, thinking about what you could have been, should have done, or might have had if you just tried harder, if you just pushed a little more, if you just grown instead of staying comfortable. Regret is painful, and it lasts a lifetime. But growth, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it hurts, that pain is temporary, but the reward lasts forever. So here's the bottom line. Growth is the only way forward. Don't settle for good. Don't even settle for better. Push yourself into growth so you can touch best. And when you hit best, keep on growing. Because best ain't final. It's just another step to a higher version of you. So when I say good, better, best, never let it rest. Understand this. What I'm really saying is grow. Never stop growing until you become everything you were created to be. That's the importance of growth. That's the secret to moving from average to greatness. Let me tell you something, man. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants to be better. Everybody wants to hit their best. But let me give you the truth right here. Wanting it don't mean a thing without discipline and consistency. That's the secret sauce. That's the glue that holds this whole good, better, best thing together. You can have talent, you can have dreams, you can even have opportunities. But if you don't have discipline and consistency, you ain't going nowhere. Now, discipline, what is that? Discipline is doing what you need to do even when you don't feel like doing it. That's the part that messes people up because most folks live their lives based on feelings. I feel tired. I feel lazy. I feel like doing it tomorrow. But discipline says, I don't care how you feel, get up and do it anyway. See, if you only move when you feel like it, you're never going to grow. But when you train yourself to push past feelings and act on commitment, that's when the change starts. And then you got consistency. Consistency means you don't just do it one time. You don't just do it for a week. You don't just do it when it's new and exciting. You do it every single day. You show up even when nobody's watching. You keep going even when it looks like nothing's happening. Consistency is what builds habits, and habits are what shape your life. Now let me make it plain. You want abs? You don't get them by going to the gym one time. You get them by being consistent, day in, day out, even when you're sore, even when you're busy. You want to save money? You don't get rich by putting $10 in the bank one time. You do it consistently over and over until those little deposits turn into something big. You want to be the best at your craft? You don't become great by practicing once. You become great by practicing every single day over and over until it's second nature. Discipline and consistency. That's the grind. That's the bridge from good to better and from better to best. Without them, you'll never cross over. I'll give you a personal story. Back when I was chasing comedy, I had nothing. No house, no bed, no security. I was sleeping in my car. And trust me, when you're homeless, when you're tired, when you're hungry, you don't feel like being disciplined. You don't feel like being consistent. You feel like giving up. But I had to make a choice. Either I stay stuck at a good enough, or I push with discipline every single night. So I kept writing jokes. I kept going to open mics. I kept working on timing, even when it felt hopeless. I stayed consistent, even when it looked like nothing was changing. And let me tell you, consistency pays off. One opportunity led to another. One stage led to a bigger stage. And eventually, I went from sleeping in my car to hosting shows on national TV. But none of that would have happened without discipline and consistency. See, dreams without discipline are just fantasies. And discipline without consistency is just a short burst of energy. You need both, working together, every single day. Here's another thing. Discipline protects you from excuses. Life will give you every reason to stop. I'm tired. I'm busy. I'm broke. I'm stressed. But discipline says, do it anyway. And consistency says, do it again tomorrow. That's how winners are made. That's how you turn potential into reality. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Discipline is tough at the beginning. My family thought I lost my mind. But I knew if I didn't chase this dream, I'd spend my whole life stuck at a good. Now, let me keep it real. After I quit, life got rough. I had nights where I didn't know where my next meal was coming from. I had to borrow gas money just to make it to shows. Food, make it to shows. I remember one time I was so broke I lived off bologna sandwiches, morning, noon, and night. Y'all don't know struggle until you've eaten bologna 3 times a day for 6 months straight. I'd fry it, boil it, fold it like it was steak, Anything to trick my mind into thinking it was something else? But through all that, I kept telling myself, never let it rest. Keep pushing, keep grinding, keep moving toward better. And slowly, things started to change. I started getting more gigs. I started figuring out timing, delivery, crowd work. My good became better. My better started turning into best. Msakoi. I landed a spot on Showtime at the Apollo. That changed everything. That was my breakthrough moment. But even then, I didn't stop. Because here's what I learned. Your best today just sets the standard for tomorrow. Once I hit one level of best, life showed me there was another level waiting. That's why I host TV shows now, why I write books, why I mentor people. Because I never let my journey rest. I never settled for the comfort of a good. I kept chasing, kept stretching, kept believing there was more in me. And I want y'all to understand this. Your story don't have to be mine, but the principle is the same. You got something inside you that's good. But if you stop there, you'll never know how far you could have gone. You gotta be willing to struggle, to sacrifice, to stretch yourself. You gotta be willing to look crazy for a while, to lose some sleep, to lose some comfort, to eat some bologna sandwiches if you have to. So you can move from good to better and from better to best. And when you get to best, oh man, it feels different. Because best isn't just about you. Best inspires other people. Best creates opportunities for your children, for your community, for people watching you who you don't even know. Best is your gift fully unwrapped, fully expressed, fully alive. So when I tell stories about sleeping in my car, about eating bologna sandwiches, about bombing on stage, I'm not telling you to feel sorry for me. I'm telling you to see what's possible. If a broke dude from Cleveland, Ohio can take a good of jokes and turn them into a career, what excuse do you got for settling? What excuse do you got for sitting on your good and never pushing for a better? I live this line. I'm standing here today because I refuse to let it rest. And I promise you, if you live it too, your story will change. People will look at you one day and say, "Oh man, that's the best I ever seen them." And you'll know it's because you never stopped at good, you never quit at better, you kept moving until you hit best. Now let me tell you something, man, this whole line, a good, better, best, never let it rest, till your good is better, and your better is best. You can't even live it without faith and belief in yourself. Because let's be real, life is gonna test you. Life will knock you down, laugh at you, put you in situations where the only thing you got left is faith. And if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe that you were built for more, you'll quit right at a good and never see a better, let alone a best. See, I'm a man of faith. I don't hide that. I know without a shadow of a doubt that God pulled me through things that my talent alone could never get me through. But faith ain't just about sitting around hoping something happens. Faith is about believing in the unseen, believing in the promise, even when you can't see no evidence yet. And belief in yourself is about looking in the mirror and saying, I might not be there yet, but I know I got what it takes. Let me be honest. When I first told people I wanted to be a comedian, they laughed at me. They said, Steve, you ain't gonna make no living telling jokes. You need a real job. And I almost believed them, almost. But deep down, something told me, you got this gift for a reason. Don't you dare bury it. That was faith. That was belief. If I had listened to the doubters, I'd still be at that auto plant, stuck at it good. But I chose to believe in myself, even when nobody else did. Faith is what carried me when I was broke and sleeping in my car. Man, I remember nights where I cried myself to sleep, asking God, why is this so hard? Why does it feel like I'm losing? And the answer I always felt deep down was, hold on, don't stop, keep going. I got something for you. That's what faith does. It keeps you moving when logic says, quit. Belief in yourself is the engine that keeps you grinding. Because let me tell you, people can encourage you, people can clap for you, people can support you. But there will come a time when ain't nobody cheering. There will come a time when the crowd is gone, the money is gone, the opportunities are gone, and all you got left is your own belief that you can do it. If your belief is weak, you'll give up. But if your belief is strong, you'll push through the silence, through the loneliness, through the pain, until you reach the other side. Here's what people don't understand. Success requires crazy faith. You gotta be just a little crazy to believe you can go from good to better to best, because best ain't common. Best ain't average. Best is rare, and rare requires faith. Rare requires you to stand alone when everybody else is doubting. Rare requires you to see something inside yourself that other folks can't see yet. I'll give you an example. Before I ever got on TV, before I ever hosted a show, I used to stand in the mirror and picture it. I'd say to myself, one day, Steve, you're going to be on TV. One day, you're going to make people laugh all over the world. Now, if somebody had walked in on me talking to myself like that, they would have thought I lost my mind. But see, that's what faith looks like. You got to see it before it happens. You got to believe it before you live it. And guess what? One day I walked right into what I'd been believing all along. That's the thing about faith. It attracts the life you want. It lines you up with your purpose. And belief in yourself fuels the discipline and consistency to keep moving until you get there. That's how you make your good better and your better best. Now let me say this. Faith without action don't work. You can't just sit around and pray for a harvest without planting no seeds. You can't believe you'll be the best, but never put in the work to get there. Faith works hand in hand with action. Belief drives behavior. If you really believe you can be better, you'll show up differently. You'll work harder. You'll risk more. You'll refuse to settle. And listen, sometimes you're going to doubt yourself. It's normal. Even I had moments where I thought maybe I wasn't cut out for this, but faith is what pulls you back. Faith whispers, don't quit now. Your best is still coming. And belief in yourself says, I got through yesterday. I'll get through today too. That's why I tell people all the time, you can't measure your future by your current situation. Where you are right now, don't define where you can go. Faith and belief in yourself are what bridge that gap. You might be broke right now, but your best could be wealthy. You might be lonely right now, but your best could be surrounded by love. You might be failing right now, but your best could be winning on a level you never imagined. So when I tell you a good, better, best, never let it rest. I'm also telling you to believe in yourself and have faith in the process. Because if you don't, you'll settle. But if you do, if you believe when nobody else does, if you hold faith when everything looks dark, you will get there. And when you do, you'll look back and realize it wasn't luck. It was faith, belief, and work that carried you. So the next time you doubt yourself, remember this. God didn't bring you this far just to leave you. You are equipped. You are gifted. You are capable. But you gotta believe it. Because if you don't believe in yourself, why should anybody else? Good, better, best, the goal. But faith and belief in yourself, that's the fuel that gets you there. Now let me talk directly to you. Yeah, you. Because see, this whole thing, good, better, best, never let it rest. Till your good is better is best. It ain't just some cute quote to put on Instagram. This right here is a call to action. This is a challenge. And I came here today to light a fire under you because some of y'all been sitting on a good way too long. You got dreams sitting in your heart right now that you ain't even touched. You got talent that's been collecting dust. You got potential that's been sitting on the shelf like an old pair of shoes. And you're wondering why life feels stuck? It's because you settled it good. But let me tell you something. Good is the enemy of great. Good is comfortable. Good will lull you to sleep. Good will have you saying, well, at least I'm not doing bad. But that ain't what you were built for. You weren't put here to just be good. You were put here to be better, to be best, to leave a mark that outlives you. See, when you leave here, people ain't gonna talk about how good you were. They're gonna talk about the best you brought. They're gonna talk about the difference you made. They're gonna talk about how you pushed past the average and showed up with excellence. And that starts today, with you making a decision to never settle again. I need you to stop waiting on perfect timing. Stop waiting on permission. Stop waiting on somebody else to validate you. You already got everything you need inside of you. But it won't show up if you keep playing small. You gotta move. You gotta take action. You gotta say, this might be good, but I can do better. This might be better, but I won't stop till I'm at my best. Now let me give it to you straight. Success don't come to the lazy. It don't come to the ones that just talk about it. It comes to the ones who grind. It comes to the ones who put in work when nobody's watching. It comes to the ones who are willing to wake up early, stay up late, sacrifice comfort for calling. Some of y'all got million-dollar dreams, but a minimum wage work ethic. That math don't add up. You gotta work like your dream depends on it, 'cause it does. Here's the thing, motivation is like a spark, but you gotta keep throwing wood on that fire. Every day you wake up, you gotta remind yourself why you started. You gotta picture the life you want. You gotta imagine your bestest self and then go chase it. And yeah, it's gonna get hard. Yeah, you're gonna wanna quit. But guess what? Winners don't quit and quitters don't win. Period. Let me make it plain. You will never reach a best of living on excuses. You will never reach a best of blaming everybody else for where you are. You will never reach a best if you don't step out of your comfort zone. Your best life is waiting, but it's not gonna knock on your door. You gotta go get it. You gotta chase it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Look, I ain't telling you something I read in a book. I'm telling you something I lived. I had every reason to quit. I had every reason to give up. But I kept hearing this voice inside me saying, Steve, don't you stop. Keep pushing. Your best is still ahead of you. And I'm here today as proof that if you don't quit, if you stay hungry, if you keep moving, good to better, to best, you will win. But here's the real truth. Nobody can do it for you. Your mama can't. Your daddy can't. Your friends can't. It's you. It's on you. You got to look in the mirror and say, I refuse to settle. I refuse to stay average. I refuse to die with my potential still inside me. So here's my challenge. Whatever dream you've been putting off, go start it. Whatever fear been holding you back, go face it. Whatever good you've been settling for, go push it to better. And when you get to better, don't stop. Don't you ever stop. Keep climbing, keep grinding, keep pushing until you hit your best. Because once you reach your best, then, and only then, will you know what it means to live. I want you to leave here today fired up, not just inspired. Inspiration fades, motivation fades, but a decision that sticks. Decide today that you will not rest until your good is better and your better is best. And let me leave you with this. You got one life, just one. Why waste it being average when greatness is calling your name? Answer the call. Step into it. Claim. Because your best is waiting, and it's time for you to go get it. All right, let's land this plane. I started out with that quote. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. And I'm ending with it because I need it burned into your mind, stamped on your heart, echoing in your spirit every time you feel like settling. See, the reason I love this quote so much is because it ain't about perfection. It's about progression. It's about not staying the same. It's about growth. It's about elevation. It's about becoming everything God put inside you to become. And that, my friends, is a lifelong journey. You don't just say it one day and poof, you're at your best. Nah, this is daily work. This is commitment. This is refusing to rest until you push past the limit you thought you had. I want you to hear me when I say this. Your best is always ahead of you, not behind you, not in the past, ahead. That's why this quote says, never let it rest. Because the moment you rest, the moment you get comfortable, the moment you say, I've arrived, that's the exact moment you stop growing. And if you stop growing, you start dying. Life ain't meant for sitting still. It's meant for moving forward. So let's make this real. From this day forward, I don't want you to ever be satisfied with a good enough. That project at work, don't just do it good, make it better. That business idea, don't just have a good plan, make it better. That relationship, don't just be a good partner, be a better one. That talent God gave you, don't just use it good. Use it until it becomes the best version of you. Because if you're not improving, you're declining. Now I know some of y'all sitting there thinking, but Steve, I'm tired, I'm grinding, I've been trying, and it feels like nothing's working. Let me tell you something. You're closer than you think. Most people quit at a good because they don't realize that a better was just around the corner. And most people quit at a better because they don't realize a bester was waiting just one step further. You don't quit when you're tired. You quit when you're finished. Let me remind you, this is not a race against other people. This is a race against yourself. This is about being better today than you were yesterday and better tomorrow than you are today. Stop comparing your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 20. Your only competition is the person in the mirror. If you beat that person every day, trust me, you're on the path to your best. And here's the kicker. Your best ain't just about, see, when you show up at your best, you give other people permission to rise higher too. Your kids are watching. Your friends are watching. Your community is watching. Somebody out there needs your best so they can find theirs. Don't you dare rob the world of the gift of seeing you at your best. So as we close, let's repeat it together, because I want you to feel it in your bones. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. Say it again, but louder this time. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. Now, I want you to take that energy out of this room. Take it to your job. Take it to your dream. Take it to your family. Take it to your future. Because if you live by this principle, if you commit to never resting at good, never stopping at better, and always chasing best, you will live a life of fulfillment, of purpose, of greatness. And listen, I'm not just giving you words, I'm giving you a blueprint. Anytime you feel tired, remind yourself, I'm not at my best yet. Anytime you feel stuck, tell yourself, I still got better in me. Anytime you feel like quitting, declare, I haven't reached my best, so quitting ain't an option. That's how champions think. That's how winners live. That's how legacies are built. So I leave you with this final thought. Your story ain't over. Your chapter of a best is still being written. Don't you dare close the book at a good. Don't you dare settle at a better. Keep writing, keep climbing, keep pushing, because one day you're going to look back and realize that the only reason you made it, the only reason you reached greatness, is because you never let it rest until your good was better, and your better was best. Now go out there and make it happen.